This video is sponsored by Sketchfab. Stick around to see how you can get high quality 3D models for free. Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to askNK. This is our weekly giveaway, and this week we do have a couple of things that you guys may be interested about. Now the very first one is the Substance Designer Survivor Kit Part 1. And this is a tutorial for those who are willing to get into Substance Designer. Now it comes with a couple of things from the basics all the way to some advanced stuff. You would be able to work with these 80+ recipes to get started. It also makes sense to note that if you're thinking about learning more stuff, you can definitely go to the AskStation Learning, where you can find tons of free Substance courses and you can learn from. Moving forward, we also have this very beautiful free base mesh from Vahid. Vahid has actually made this base mesh available, and this is from a project that he was working with. Now for those who like to get this clean topology model with the UVs fully done, you'll be able to grab it. And this is not the only thing you can get from Vahid, as he has also given out the Zoe free full Maya scene project. Now if you would like to get that, you can simply also come through and grab this one as well, as this is totally free. You can also take advantage of the ZBrush, metal, cloth and skin materials that you can use for your next ZBrush project. Now while we talk about models that you might want to grab, you can also take advantage of the free rig mail model, and this is a base mesh that comes with the full base mesh itself and also an animation example. Now this topology isn't like the best topology to work with, but it gets the job done. So if you're thinking about using this for your personal project, of course you can download it for free. Now this is quite beautiful and nice, but something to accompany a model like this is none other than a Nike Air Jordan 4 shoe. Now this is a high dense model that you can download and of course use for your project, and it makes sense to see that the folks at Glitch Art Studio have definitely made this one worth it. Now if you're also looking for something that is quite low poly, you don't want to deal with all of this high resolution stuff, there is also the Nike Air Jordan 1 shoes. This is a low poly version, and of course you would definitely enjoy working with this one. Now while we look at things that you might want to enjoy working with, for those who are thinking about studying anatomy, you might want to also get the free human skull anatomy tool. Now this deals with a high resolution skull, and at the same time you'll be able to have access to the high poly mesh, optimized mesh, the planes of the skull mesh, and at the same time the skull wireframe mesh. So there's a whole lot of things that you'll be grabbing with this one, and it is just brilliant. So if you're thinking about getting any of this AskStation pick for this week, you can come through and grab it. Now with that said, let's dive over and take a look at some of the things that might be available when you go over to QBrush to check them out. So this week on QBrush we have 5 free contents that you can pick up, and the very first one that we're looking at is 15 Japanese fabric materials for Substance creators. So if you learn with the Survivor Kit, you learn from the folks at AskStation Learning, you can now create and also manipulate these 15 Japanese fabric materials to your liking. And of course, if you're working with Substance Painter, you can take advantage of this and apply this to your models. With that said, there is also these beautiful head construction planes. So if you're thinking about creating your own 3D model and you like to use the head construction for the model you're working on, you can definitely take advantage of this. It also makes sense to note that 2D artists would definitely find this one very useful, as they can now import 3D assets into Procreate and use it as the base of creating the head of the character that they're working on. Now with this said, there is a 50 glass base mesh, and all these eyeglasses are beautiful, exclusive for the fashion industry, but if you're working on a 3D model that requires glasses, this 50 glass base meshes would definitely come in handy. One thing to keep in mind for this one is that you get clean meshes, but there is no UV and no texture. So you have to cut the UVs and your textures yourself, and I would strongly suggest that you get this now before this actually hits its limit for the day, or probably before the folks at QBrush will take it down and put up something else for next week. So go ahead and grab it, and it also makes sense to note that we do have a beautiful overcast HDRI panoramic image that you can get. This is a 16K image, high quality stuff. The folks at 3D.sk have made this one available, and if you'd like to take a look at some of the samples, you can of course check out the samples and see if this suits what you would want to do. And finally, for this week QBrush giveaway, we are looking at free 30 sci-fi custom shape, and these shapes are basically for those working with Photoshop. Now it makes sense to know that you can actually get these shapes and use them in other 3D tools like Substance, Blender, Mari and all that, but this is for sci-fi creators. And if you're thinking about creating some paintings that require some sci-fi elements, or you like to create some very interesting stuff that would require some brushes like this, then you can also consider checking this one out. And it's worth knowing that QBrush is a time-based thing, so it makes sense to come through and grab it before it hits its limit. And that's about it. But before we go, let's give a huge shout out to our sponsors, Sketchfab. Sketchfab is an amazing place on the internet where you can buy, sell, and also download free 3D models. Now, Sketchfab is one of the only places by far on the internet where you can also preview your 3D models before you download it. And the folks at Sketchfab constantly allow you get free, fresh content every single week. And for you to access this, you need to go over to Explore, go over to Downloadables, and you have access to tons and tons of free content, premium content to be honest, that you can start playing with. This year marks Sketchfab 4 years of doing some amazing stuff for the community, and for those looking for free content that they can use for their next project, Sketchfab is the home for you. And that's about it. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section, and of course if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.
I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, yeah, no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect.